Today, we're going to unpack a technique that some of the world's highest achievers use to turn, well, what seem like impossible goals into reality. It's a mental tool so powerful it almost feels like cheating. But here's the thing, it's not magic, it's neuroscience. And we're going to start with a question that sounds completely impossible.
Seriously, how? It sounds like a trick question, right? But this isn't some hypothetical riddle. This actually really happened, on the biggest stage in the entire world.
So, picture this. It's the Beijing Olympics. You've got Michael Phelps, this 23-year-old swimming machine, on the starting block for one of his best events. The whole world is watching. I mean, the pressure is just off the charts.
He dives in, the race starts, and then it happens. Disaster. A couple of laps in, his goggles start filling up with water, and pretty soon he can see absolutely nothing. For any other swimmer, this is it. Race over. It's like a pilot's instruments going completely dark in the middle of a storm.
But here's the crazy part. Phelps doesn't panic. He doesn't even slow down. He just keeps swimming with his powerful, perfect rhythm. He can't see the tee at the bottom of the pool. He can't see his opponents. So how on earth does he know when to turn? He's counting. He's literally counting his strokes, navigating a 50-meter pool completely from memory.
He hits the wall, he has no idea what happened, he can't see the scoreboard, but then he hears the roar of the crowd, and he knows. He rips his goggles off, and he finally sees the time. An absolutely unbelievable finish.
And this is the part that should just blow your mind. He didn't just win the gold medal while swimming blind. He shattered the world record. So the real question isn't what happened, it's how is that even possible?
You see, Phelps's victory wasn't a fluke. It wasn't some miracle. It was the direct result of a very specific, very disciplined mental training that prepared him for that exact moment of chaos.
So what was the secret? Well, his coach, a guy named Bob Bowman. Every single day, Phelps wouldn't just train in the pool, he'd lie down and visualize the perfect race, seeing it, feeling the water, hearing the sounds. But Bowman made him do something else too. He made him visualize everything that could possibly go wrong. What if the goggles fill up? Okay, what's the plan? Count your strokes. What if the swimsuit rips? What's the plan? Stay calm, keep swimming. By the time that disaster actually happened in Beijing, his brain had already solved that problem hundreds of times. It wasn't a surprise. It was a drill.
Now, this story is incredible, for sure, but what's really amazing is that it points to a fundamental truth about how all of our minds work. So let's dive into the science that explains why this isn't just for Olympic athletes.
Okay, so here is the key takeaway. Your brain, my brain, everyone's brain, it has a really hard time telling the difference between something you actually did and something you vividly, powerfully imagined. When you do that mental rehearsal, you engage your senses, you feel the emotions, your brain fires off the exact same neural signals as if you were physically doing it. To your brain, the rehearsal is real.
And if you want proof, check out this landmark Harvard study. Researchers took a bunch of people who'd never played the piano and split them in two. Group A had to physically practice a simple little piano exercise 2 hours a day. Now Group B, they were told to do the exact same thing, but only in their minds. Their hands never even touched the keys.
5 days later, they scanned everybody's brain, and the results were just staggering. For the group that actually played the piano, the part of their brain that controls the fingers, the motor cortex, it had grown a lot. Makes sense. But get this, the group that only imagined practicing, their brains changed in almost the exact same way. Just thinking about it built real physical pathways in their brain. Wild, right?
So we know it works for the greatest Olympian of all time. We know the science behind it is solid. So the big question is, how can you start using this in your own life, for your own goals? Let's break down a super simple guide. All right, it's pretty straightforward. First, just find a quiet, comfortable space where you won't be bothered. Second, take a few deep breaths, relax your body. Third, and this is key, define your goal. Be specific. I want to do well on my presentation is way too vague. I'm going to nail the opening, feel confident, and get great questions at the end. That's specific. Fourth, engage all your senses. Don't just see it. What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you maybe even smell? Make it real. And finally, number 5, do it every day. Consistency is what really rewires your brain.
And speaking of being specific, you gotta love this story. Long before he was famous, a broke and struggling Jim Carrey wrote himself a check for $10 million. He put in the memo for acting services rendered, and he even post-dated it. He didn't just wish for success, he defined it.
He gave it a date, and he looked at that check in his wallet every single day. He made the outcome crystal clear in his mind years before it ever happened.
Okay, we're at the last and honestly the most important part of this whole thing. This is the one step that separates this powerful technique from just, daydreaming.
I want you to think about visualization as a GPS for your goals. It does a couple of amazing things. It programs the final destination into your brain, and it shows you the best, clearest route to get there. It gives you the confidence that you're actually on the right path. But, and this is the big but, the GPS does not drive the car for you. You still have to get in, put your hands on the wheel, and hit the gas.
So it all comes down to a really simple formula. If you have visualization, but you don't take any action, that's just daydreaming. It feels nice, but nothing happens. Now, if you take a ton of action without any visualization, that's just directionless work. You're spinning your wheels, working hard, but not really getting anywhere important. But when you put the two together, when you combine that clear mental picture with real-world, consistent action, well, that is the formula for becoming pretty much unstoppable.
So, think about it. Michael Phelps used this to win a gold medal blind. Jim Carrey used it to build an incredible career. The science proves it physically changes your brain to set you up for success. The only question left is, what's that impossible goal you're going to start with?